I see loads of inspiration for crafting stuff on my Instagram reels, and it blows my mind the skill of people when I see some of the incredible things they're doing. The very detailed work, the incredible labour intensive crafting, a small scale or a big scale, it doesn't matter. And it makes me feel really inadequate because the stuff that I'm doing at the moment, or this decoupage stuff, is very on a very basic level compared to a lot of these people. Now, I'm still learning. I only started doing this type of art at the beginning of the year, and I'm trying to work out what works. So at the moment, everything I am doing is a new skill for me. So even when I'm just doing decoupage, and now I'm trying it with pressed flowers, so that's new, that's a different way of doing things. I'm trying to work out how I can layer designs and use different effects, and so everything's a learning curve. So some things are a bit hit and miss, other things go really well, some things I've had to scrap and just think I can't do that, because it's also about the facilities you have. So I'm very short on space and facilities to be able to do anything that's too complicated or requires too much equipment or anything like that. I'm also trying to work within a very tight budget. But when I look at what some of these people are doing, and a lot of them you can tell have great studios, they have lots of equipment. Like if you're seeing someone who's a jeweler doing really interesting upcycle and recycle, they probably trained as a jeweler. You know, this is incredibly detailed and labour intensive work. And then my thoughts go to, well, they've made these reels presumably to showcase their skills for a reason. So are they selling these items? And if you imagine that some of these things that you see are probably taking weeks to make, how much are they selling them for? Because you've got to realise a sensible income from things. I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday. She does upcycle and recycle furniture. So she'll take proper wooden furniture. She doesn't mess around with veneer stuff or chipboard or anything, but proper furniture that she's rescued, has been donated, things like that. And she has a really focused style. She does quite industrial style designs, and they're really top notch. They really are great. She used to sell really well, always through Facebook Marketplace, did really well at it, and things have dropped in the last couple of years as cost of living is biting, and Facebook Marketplace apparently changed their algorithms and things, and now she really struggles to sell anything. So she's got a few pieces that she's finished that she's got around the house, and they just look amazing. And so we've talked about, you know, hourly rates for things, and the reason that a lot of the things that I make are relatively cheap is because I try to simplify the processes as much as possible. If you were making, let's say you make a set of coasters, and end to end it takes you an hour. What's the minimum wage? £13 something? Is somebody going to buy a set of 4 coasters from you for £13? Now, there are other aspects to that. There are the materials as well. So you might have to add a couple of quid onto that to cover the cost of materials. But I work from home, so I don't have business rates. I don't have to pay rent on a studio or separate gas and electric to facilitate that area. So I don't have to worry about that. But even so, you know, you're not realising your hourly rate. It's not like one of my other jobs is the cleaning work that I do. So I go there and I get paid per the hour to do the work. You don't get that with when you're making stuff. Nobody looks at your product and thinks, I wonder how many hours that took. Are they charging enough? They think, that's nice. Is it within my budget? And people's budgets these days are quite tight. So people want a lot for their money. So I'm always looking at what I'm doing, and I will improve on it, and it'll take time to. I was saying to my friend yesterday, I haven't yet found, not in the same way that I do the dresses, where you look at the dresses, you can see I found a style. I haven't found a style yet that feels like me. I feel like everything I make at the moment is like all the other stuff that you can get online that's similar. I haven't found my niche, my particular speciality in this yet. And it can take time. It took me years to find the style, the way I make dresses. And I was 3 years at university and never discovered it. And it wasn't until I left that I suddenly started to develop this individual style. And it's not just me. I have since seen other people doing it, and you know, it's not a copyrightable thing. It's just a way of design that works for me. I like it because it allows for one dress to be multi-size, multi-fit, and because I make one of everything, you need a dress to fit multiple sizes in order to widen your market for that product. So when you look at most of my dresses, the drape design dresses that I make, one dress might fit anything from a size 10 or 12 up to a 16 or 18, and they're specifically designed with that in mind. And I do that by using draping, minimal seams, all that sort of thing. So that's how that works. But I haven't found my specific leaning in the decoupage yet. And it's still early days. I've only been doing it for, maybe 6 months. I don't remember when I started. I think it was beginning of this year. So it's still very early days, and it's not the sort of thing that I would normally do. I always used to do clothes. So there's no sewing involved here. It's all glue and paint and patterns and things like that. But yeah, I'm still finding my way with this and trying to work out what it is. So at the moment I'm focusing a little bit more on using pressed flowers instead of the paper napkins and things like that I've been using, just to start to broaden it and see what works. It does work. It looks pretty good. I am finishing off some things at the moment, and then in the next few days I'm going to start, probably about a week, I'm going to start photographing what I have completed so that I can get these up and into my shop. So I'm just building up a range of products in one go. So I'm working on the pressed flowers, I'm doing them on coasters and on glass and things like that. So I'm just seeing what might work, and then I need to make a certain number of items, but not many, because I'm trying to keep all my designs individual in the same way that I do the dresses. Everything's a one-off. And then just seeing what sells. Now, we're in a very slow season at the moment. The kids are off on their summer holidays, so parents are very distracted. They're looking after their kids. A lot of parents will have had to stop work for the summer because they need to look after the kids who are now not at school. And a lot of them will be channeling their money into holidays, family holidays, whether it's here or abroad. And a lot of people are away, and it is really quiet out there at the moment. The roads are really quiet, the shops are really quiet, so you know that it's the summer holidays. And I'm using that as a chance to really fill up my shop, so that once things go back to normal in September, and as we barrel towards Christmas, hopefully I will have a good range of items that will sell as gifting for Christmas and around those times. And then hopefully I can start making some money. I have sold some things this year, which is really good. And I have reinvested all that money back into more materials because I need to create a broader range. So I've been trying some new things using the spray paints. The spray paints are working really well. The marbling effect and things, and the dusting of colours over designs is working really well. And it's just broadening all those items a little bit more, which is fantastic. But you need to invest the money back in to buy more materials to expand your range. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I am hoping that by the end of August I will have acquired enough of a stack of materials that I don't need to buy any more. I have people saving cans and jars for me and other bits and pieces that I can decorate and turn into other things, because like all of the work that I do, upcycle and recycle is foremost in my mind. So jars and bottles and things that you would normally throw into the recycling, I can turn into rather beautiful little things, I think. I'm trying some other new stuff and just trying all different ways that I can see how things will work, and it's an interesting, fun exercise. I'm enjoying it, and it's keeping me very motivated because I'm not doing the dresses anymore, because you just, at the moment, you just can't sell it. And I'm not going to worry about that, because it's also difficult to make dresses when you work from home and you don't have the space. So I struggle with pattern cutting and laying out fabric because I don't really have any room to do it properly. So it's another reason why the draping was always good, is that you don't need to lay out long rolls of fabric and pattern cut. I can do it. I tend to design on the mannequin, which makes life a bit easier. But things like this are also much easier to do because I can focus on a very small table, make a small selection of products, get them finished, and then pack them away until someone buys them, and then move on to the next one that takes up a very small amount of space. So it's easier for me to manage at the moment. And so that's it, really. I just wanted to do that as a little kind of update on my thoughts. I like looking at Pinterest and Instagram for ideas, different slants on how to do things. I mean, that's where you find your inspiration from other people. It doesn't all come out of your own head. But yeah, it definitely makes me feel inadequate. Whether these people are making enough to live on. Social media is very good at making people's lives look amazing, but the reality is that very often people aren't making enough. And with some of the things that I've seen being made, I cannot imagine how these people are realising the financial cost of what they're making, and in terms of selling it, if that's what they're doing, because some of these things look like they take forever to make, and the detail and the energy and the materials and the cost that's gone into making those things is just incredible. But whether they are making those for a living or they're just showcasing skills for other reasons, making stuff for themselves, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so I thought I'd throw that in. Yeah, that's my little update for the weekend. It's the last week before my parents come home. They'll be back home on Thursday. It's Saturday lunchtime now, and they will be home on Thursday morning. So I'm barreling towards the end of having free access to table space and things, and I want to get as much done before they come back so they can have everything packed away and done before they get home. Once they're back, I'm only going to be around a few days before I have to go home, and I'm going to use that time to focus on photographing things that are complete and getting them up onto the website. So that will be happening, I would say, next Friday, Saturday. Hopefully that'll go to plan, but more people around, life suddenly gets a lot busier, and it may be that I don't have time to do it. Anyway, so that's the update. And I will let you know when those things go up online. Keep an eye on the website if you're interested in what I'm selling. Link is in the description below. And you can see what I've got for sale at the moment. So thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.